I got introduced to the whole idea of Docker code around the year 2023, when I was working at Cello, and that was when I got to know about the idea of writing documentation or writing technical content in the same way we write code. So in this video, I'll be telling you more about what Docker code is all about, if you should adopt it in your technical content marketing team, and if you do want to adopt it, how you can integrate it into your workflow. Hi everyone, I'm John Fawali, a content marketing manager at Blockchain Alpha, and in this video, I'll be telling you more about Docker code. So this is the origin of Docker code. There is this general idea that developers don't like to write documentation for the code they have written. But after further research, we get to discover that that's not quite true. What developers were not quite cool with was the idea of probably working somewhere else, then bringing it into their code base and all that. So the idea of Docker's code is for developers to write with the same tool they use to code. And for proper insight into how it works, let me give you an expose into how to draft with Docker's code and push to me. So the first thing is drafting. You probably draft with Notion or VS Code, and you draft with Markdown. Markdown is a formatting format that complies with HTML5. So you draft with Markdown, and after you have drafted with Markdown in your VS Code, you can push to the main or whatever branch you have to push to in your organization's GitHub. And of course, that means you should know about version control. If you don't want to bother too much knowing about Git, I will suggest you download this Git VS Code extension on VS Code. It should be very helpful for your work. So once you have pushed to main, your content marketing manager can get to review, or your editor can get to review your work, propose any amendments you should do into it, and once you are done with that, they can merge your PR into main, and with that, your content or your documentation comes live. And that's the whole idea of Docker's code, and that is really how it works. So how do you get to know if this is really for you, if this is really for your organization, or if this is something you should adopt? Well, there are a couple of reasons you should follow this. First of all, you should adopt Docker's code if your product is engineering focused, right? If you are building probably a dev tool that is quite technical or mainly for engineers, then it's just better you adopt Docker's code so your technical writers or engineers can simply draft documentation easily themselves without using external tools. And the second thing is doc versioning. You improve your code, you improve your packages, you improve whatever you are building your product. In the same way, you should also improve your documentation to match the current improvements in your product. So your doc should have V1, V2, or V2.1, V2.10, that kind of stuff. That helps any reader to kind of understand, okay, this doc version is for this version of product, and be able to work accordingly. Then the second thing is that it helps with automated checks. When I was working at Cello, then if you try to push something and it doesn't comply with the contribution guidelines earlier, automatically GitHub will let you know that, okay, something is not right. You need to fix this, and I will have to fix them myself and put it in place. This way, it makes things easier for your editor. For instance, if you have this policy that, okay, there must be 6 images in your content, or main header should be H2 and all that. If you have specified those checks, it automatically checks it against any content that is submitted, and that makes your work easier. Then another point is like I said in the beginning, helps developers to document better, because it's the tools they are familiar with that they'll be using. And just to state something more, it complies with CI/CD. So as much as you are iterating on your product, it is also integrated, and it is deployed as often as you improve on your products, and that just makes it more engineering native. So having spoken about the things you should consider or the benefits of Docker's code, as a person, I've noticed something personally, and that's the fact that some not too technical teams often try to adopt Docker's code. And for me, I feel that shouldn't be. For example, some SaaS companies try to adopt Docker's code, and I don't really feel that is necessary. Really, it's might make you look sophisticated, but sometimes it's not really necessary. For instance, if your content marketers are not even engineers, you will have a huge problem making them to use Docker's code. Or if they are not, basically, if your content marketing managers or content managers don't have um, engineering background, you shouldn't bother to use Docker's code. But if you mark that box, you should definitely go ahead with it. I hope you learned something from this video, and subsequently I'll be releasing more videos about content marketing, technical content marketing, and a whole lot of that. I released a video last week. You can go watch it. It's basically on startup ideas, how to build products and make it what people will pay for. So I hope to see you in the next one. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and bye.